We are live.
We are.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Welcome back. Don't be nervous, man. Have a chocolate.
No. I can't eat whilst I'm nervous.
It's tradition. Promise you'll love it.
Right.
You ever seen Matrix? You're probably too young to remember Matrix.
No, I remember watching the first one.
Yeah, so Neo gets nervous and then the old lady gives him a cookie and he feels better. So this is why I give these chocolates out. It'll make you feel better. RA chocolates. What do you reckon?
Good.
Good. Let me do a little intro. What is happening, people? Welcome to the Born to Fly podcast. If you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, all those good little stations and streams, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, this might make it to YouTube, the full stream.
You know hear my munching?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. It's fine. Good AS. You've got Lauren Jump's ASMR chocolate eating going on in the background. But welcome, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, big up. We have LJ, Queen of Jump Rope, aka Lauren Jumps in the house. Round of applause, everyone. We've got lots of people in the house today, man. We've got her video guy, Ellis. You want to say what's up?
What's up?
We've got Ellis in the house. Got Lissy P in the house.
Yo.
We're excited to have you back. This is part 2.
Yep.
We're running this one back because the first one was that good.
I think it's going to get juicier.
It's my most streamed, podcast, yeah. Most streamed podcast, most viewed podcast on a YouTube like video. They don't normally get a lot of views because I don't think people like to sit through like hour-long chats.
No, probably not.
But your one, I think, is on like some decent numbers for me. For my channel, anyway.
Interesting.
It's you, man.
Maybe I need to start a podcast.
You should. Make sure you invite me, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us your presence and your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Always, man, always. What's been happening in life, man?
Lots. So, yeah, because when I was last here was like, well, not here, but your old HQ was like a year ago, right?
It was a hot day, so it was probably about June, July.
Yeah.
That was a good time, man. We kind of got your backstory a little bit there.
Yeah.
And so much has happened.
I know.
I imagine in the last year.
Yeah.
We're going to get into a lot of things. Guys, Lauren has introduced a new app to the skipping world. You're doing bigger and better things, as always. Anything else new in your life? Anything personal?
No, that just stays the same.
All right, well, we've got lots of topics to talk about still. I think today is a bit of fun. We're going to be doing a little couple of tutorials. We've got, I think we'll get the phone out. My phone's not with me right now, but when I get my phone, I have some screenshots of some comments that we have to go through because a lot of people got involved in our videos that we filmed last year. And there's a lot of hate, a lot of trolls out there. But I wanted to get your reactions to some of the comments.
Okay.
Because a lot of them are funny. So we'll go through that. Have you got any questions from your peoples today?
Yep, I do.
Are they coming through?
Yeah, they are. So for both of us.
I bet you someone's like, why is this idiot wearing sunglasses all the time?
That was the first one.
Was it really?
Like, well, seconds,
I knew it.
Maybe.
See?
But pretty much it was
They're like,
right
tell
there.
this chump to take off his sunglasses. No, I'm sure you got nice.
He's like, why is he wearing sunglasses when there's no sun?
It's bright in here, Lauren. Can you see how much light I've got in here? I've got sensitive eyes now. But I'm going to have a chocolate too.
It's quite, I mean, you could be blind for all they know.
Yeah.
It could be quite an offensive question.
I think I'm going to start running that line.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, you know.
What sunglasses?
Yeah. What are you talking about? You know what? The sunglass, I did a little post on my sunglass story recently. Don't know if you saw it. It was just about the backstory about it. It was about the fact that all my early videos never used to have them. And it was like a natural thing. So I started filming, all my videos used to be indoors. And then I had to go outside because it was getting a bit messy inside, right? So then it was actually sunny. So I was like, I need sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing the editing and I was looking at the playback and I used to do these like Trap Nation music kind of beat drops. And I was like, actually, the sunglasses look quite cool.
Yeah.
So I kind of stuck with it. I was like, actually, I like it when I'm outside. It makes sense. And then it wasn't until about a year later and I was talking to my mumsy and she goes, oh, it's funny you wear sunglasses all the time. I was like, why is that? She goes, oh, about 5-10 years ago, I went to go see one of those like fortune teller voodoo type people that know the future and know people's lives. And she goes, they told me, they said your son will be doing quite good in his life and he would always wear glasses. And I've never wore normal glasses. I got 20/20 vision, all that sort of stuff. But like, it's
jealous.
Yeah, it's not bad. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. I'm supposed to be blind. But so she said it's kind of weird because he always. She said, I didn't know where you're going to get these sunglasses or these glasses from. Yeah. But he always did say you're going to be doing well, and for some reason you'd be wearing glasses every day.
Funny.
Oh, yeah, weird. So that then made me wear them more because like it's like my path now.
Well, I've become a bit attached to my caps, really. Like I wear
What's the deal with your cap? Because we never got to the bottom of it last time.
So when I started, I would always exercise or do anything with my hair in a high ponytail.
Yeah.
And then when I like got into skipping, it was just something that it would just always hit it. And it was, so I then started trying different hairstyles. And then when I wore I think I put my hair in pigtails, but then I had to put a cap on because all my front, like my bangs were like flapping about everywhere. So it was still, so I just ended up wearing a cap just to keep them in place. And then I realised pretty quickly that as long as I wear a cap, my hair actually just stays where it is. So it's actually the easiest hairstyle. So if my hair's down, and also actually, even if it was in pigtails, the pigtails would fly up and like even they hit the rope, or if they hit your face, it actually hurts. So when your hair's just separate and loose, it doesn't. If any of the hair hits the rope, it doesn't usually stop it. Whereas if your hair's in together, like tied together, it usually hits it in one big amount of hair, and it actually stops the rope.
Some practicality around this, man.
Yeah, no, there genuinely is.
Do people always ask you like, why do you always wear that?
And I do understand like some people are like, is it not really hot? But I suppose I'm mostly jumping outside, and I've got used to it. It's not really cold. It's not really too hot in our country often, is it?
No. But did the headphones become the look, or were you actually listening to something?
They have now. So the headphones, yes. So obviously and even before I did any of this, I always wore over-the-ear headphones because the ones in ear just fall out. Yeah. So that was just my thing anyway. And then naturally I wore the headphones over the cap, and that's sort of become my look. But it was always practical for me.
Got you. And why is it always a New York Yankees cap? Is that your team?
People are, but it's in the UK.
Yeah.
Yankees is a massive brand. I know people hate me for saying this because I know people who hate the Yankees hate that it's such a big global brand.
Right.
But all you have to do is go on the UK New Era website, which is where you get all these caps, and look at the colour options available. The team that has the most colour options available is the Yankees.
Got you.
And I get all my caps in women's size, so I don't. The standard size tends to be quite big.
Right.
And I prefer the women's cut, and you can actually get the 940 in a women's cut. You can get it from the website, and I think all bar one or two, which are maybe the Dodgers and I think even maybe some Manchester United ones.
Go on, United. Get some Man United.
They're all Yankees.
Branding going in there. That's my team.
I know, but I don't know if I'd wear that at the moment.
Well, not too bad, Won a little trophy here and there.
It's my family's team as well.
United, yeah? That's good. Do you get a lot of people asking you, like, when you do your videos? I always want to ask you this. Like, do you get people asking you all the time, like, I guess the question is, like, do they feel like you get overly dressed up for your videos?
No one, you know what? I'm surprised, but no one ever really talks about that.
No?
But it is just, to be honest, I just do my hair and makeup for the day.
Yeah.
And then...
You always look pristine clean.
Yeah, so... Oh, thank you. But
yeah.
I suppose there's... I am sort of like, I'm going to be on camera, so I'd probably rather have some makeup on. In my earlier videos, especially because in the lockdown days, no one was going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I genuinely, in lockdown days, there's lots of videos of me not wearing makeup.
There's a lot of change.
Yeah.
I remember when you post those throwback ones.
Yeah. And I'm like not smiling and looking down and...
Those are the days, man. Do you look back and just think like, shit, like how much your life has changed?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Only 3 years, right?
3 years, yeah.
Crazy. You were like, when you first burst on the scene, and we talked about this last time, and you were like, you just made furlough and everything else like that. Like your way of life now, do you find yourself working a lot more hours than when you were just general working?
Yeah, 100%. Like, actually, someone commented on it recently. They put, because I do these behind the scenes videos now where I share myself creating the choreo.
Yeah.
And I wear a mic.
Videos.
Yeah, so I make sure I wear a mic for all my sessions now, and if it's interesting enough, I'll share the behind the scenes. But somebody, I was doing one where I did have 20 minutes, and so it was like, well, I've only got 20 minutes, I need to get this quickly.
Yeah.
And then someone commented like, as if you've only got 20 minutes, like you've got all day to do this. And it's like, I think people just think that that's all I do, like skiff all day.
Just
and
wake
that's
up.
all it takes, you know, that's how you have the following that I have, and that's what it is forever. Like, it's just not like, there's so much to it. And I have lots of, you know, meetings and calls. I'm running my app now, and or dealing with brands and edits, like whether I'm editing for my own channels or editing for something for a brand. There's always something.
Your edits are nuts though. The ones that you're doing with the mic, what's it, where you're planning the choreography and stuff, they seem like they could take quite a long time to edit.
They do.
I think people don't realise that, right?
No. And actually at one point I thought, well, actually, this is a great way to have 2 bits of content from one session.
Yeah.
And I thought it would save me loads of time as well. Not that that was the reason I did it. I did it because I thought people want to see it. But I thought, oh, it's a bonus. It will save me loads of time. But no, because it would be, I mean, one of those edits takes probably, in jibs and drabs, because I don't do it all in one stint, but 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Because of going through and then, you know, thinking about it and then having to cut it down to 1 minute 30. And then I do 1 minute for YouTube shorts, because you can't do longer than a minute on YouTube shorts. So so that takes time, and it actually takes me an hour, like no more than an hour, to choreograph a routine and film that. So it would actually be quicker for me to just do more routines.
It's mad. What's your routine look like now then, as in terms of like your daily routine?
So I get up, usually get up about 7:30, 7:45. My other half, he goes to work about then. So I've started, well, I didn't used to be like this actually.
You're an early bird now, yeah?
No, yeah, I've had to be, because it was getting too much, because I'd end up starting late and then just finishing even later and just never getting what I needed to done. Or I'd just get up when I needed to, really. But because I don't mind being up late. I quite like working at night and stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like I prefer actually getting up, having breakfast. I make sure I have breakfast with him, so I make us breakfast, and then
that's nice of you.
And then I get ready for the day. So I'm not. I like go down literally at that time. I'm like not ready at all. But then I go back up, do my makeup, get ready for the day, and then I've usually checked the weather. That dictates when I'm going to do my jumping.
Very
if
smart.
There's going to be any jumping.
Yeah.
And obviously if I've got any other meetings, typically a lot of my meetings are online. They're just over Zoom and stuff with developers or my management or anyone. And then, it depends. So I've actually been tending to get my jumping out of the way early lately, which has been really good. And then I have to stop myself doing anything with the edit for what I've just done, because it's not usually urgent, but I always really like to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then I can often get carried away with that, but I have to stop myself.
Are you still doing video, then edit, then post?
Yeah.
Because that's what you were saying last time, right?
So I don't, and I'm trying to have a bit of a backlog, but often actually don't. So it's often like a quick turnaround. And then, to be honest, it will just depend. Every day is different. It's sort of, I don't know, by midday, by the time I'm done with any jumping and thinking about the edit afterwards, maybe, and then I'll perhaps have work around calls, so I'll get on with an edit, one of my behind the scenes edits, or work on trying to work out what other content I can be doing.
Mine's consistently ticking.
And setting aside time to create new content for Fancy Feats, and that's anything. It depends where I'm at with that, and it can be scripting stuff that's coming up.
Let's talk about Fancy Feats, man, because you were talking to me about it first when you started having thoughts about it. Well, you were in developing stage last year, right?
Yeah.
That's mental. So I think the last podcast we had, you said it off camera then that you're planning it.
Yeah.
When did it go live exactly?
In the end, it was it February? February,
so
middle of February. There was a few hiccups. It was early on Android, and iOS was late because there's an issue.
Making apps is pretty long, isn't it?
Yes.
All that stuff behind the scenes and signing up to all this stuff on developers and all this. And I Yeah, we have a very basic app here. It's literally just for shopping and stuff.
I
But even
remember
just
that,
a basic
yeah.
app, it's nothing special. It just syncs up to my website, syncs up to my YouTube. Yeah, and even that, registering it to iOS.
Yeah.
I don't even know what steps I was following, but I just got it done somehow
Did it get
by
through
fluke.
first time?
No, they were saying something about, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I ticked a box that was like saying it had some payment thing, but then I don't know. But yeah, props to you, big up.
Thank you.
It looks like a really good platform. Talk us through it, man. Whoever's listening or watching or whatever. Like, I'll let you explain it. Fancy feats, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, with obviously the idea was to create an app where people can learn all the skills for jump rope, but also in like an easy way. I think the thing is, there's a lot of people have already put content out there in the form of programs, maybe selling as a one-off cost, or people have subscription options available in the jump rope space where you can sign up for access to their content for a certain amount of time or whatever. But the thing is, what's lacking is an actual app that's bespoke, built for jump rope, and the way that you consume the content, I think, is just as important as the content that's on it. So a lot of apps, like if you want to share your content on some sort of platform, a lot of these platforms that exist so that creators can do that are often made for personal training.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really tailored to necessarily learning a skill, and certainly not when skills are interlinked necessarily. It's never going to be unique to your niche. So that was the problem. And I wanted something where people can, because there's lots of different things that everyone who learns jump rope, I feel like, has different things they want to learn. Not everyone wants to learn everything.
Right.
And people have different goals. So why should you have to follow someone's program and learn the basic bounce, then the side swing, then the crossover, if you want to learn a double under? Because technically, the only thing you need to learn if you want to learn a double under is the basic bounce.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you don't have to learn other things. So, sorry, my voice is gone. I'm like out of breath.
Want some water?
Cut this out.
Don't watch that, Lauren. I was getting into it, man. I was like, man, she knows her stuff.
I just realised I left this in.
She knows. That's all right. Just
After
Gymshark-
saying I wasn't going to.
Gymshark promos back
I
in.
think I'd put that there.
She loves this. You know, this bottle. You know what? Keep it. She bought it back. She bought it for the first time. I was like, you know what? We can give you a bottle. We got RA bottles
I
here.
know, we didn't. What happened? We didn't get round to it though. I thought I was going to get. I got my mug and I didn't
You
get
got the
rid
mug.
of the
Well,
bottle.
Have we got any flasks with us? No, we don't even have it in stock. Sorry. You have to stick. They're at my house.
Sorry.
No, carry on.
Yeah.
Karen, it's good. It's good. We're with you.
Yeah.
We're
So
with you.
double under. So well, anything. So obviously you've got your CrossFitter, for example, might just want to learn double unders.
Yeah.
So really, they should be able to open an app dedicated to learning jump rope skills and just see, okay, what do I need to do to learn double under? Okay, just a basic bounce, then double under. Great. And I know obviously a double under is harder than a crossover or a side swing, but the point is that's not everyone. You don't have to learn things in a set order.
Of course.
I think a lot of people in the world of jump rope, when they're launching programs and stuff, they're very much like, this is what you learn in this order. And I just wanted to create something that was totally flexible and unique to the people using it. So, and I realised that obviously, everyone who learns jump rope starts to realise that all the skills are interlinked and everything has like a prerequisite. So. Yeah. You know, you start with the basic bounce. If you then unlock the swing open and a crossover, you could then learn a swing crossover, and then you can learn a switch cross because you've got the crossover.
Right.
If you learn a double under and you've got a crossover, you can learn a crossover double under.
Yep.
So I realised that the way to do this was to have like a map and have everything like linking to each other, and so that people can actually think, well, I want to be at the Running Man, so what footwork do I need to learn to get there?
That's so smart. I remember when you showed it to me, I was like, this is pretty sick. It's pretty cool. This is all like your kind of design concept.
Yeah, it's all my idea, and then
Wicked.
obviously I worked with developers to figure out how to actually make it work, because when I sent it to them, it was like literally it looked almost like a family tree.
It's like sketches and all that, yeah?
Yeah.
That's pucker, man. You should frame that stuff up and put it around.
Yeah, I know, I should, shouldn't I? But yeah, so that was how it started. And then I wanted each skill to have a tutorial which was super detailed, but then have a breakdown of the drills that you need to learn that skill as well. And then the point being that you tick off the drills, and so that you don't have to keep necessarily watching. You can watch that tutorial as many times as you like, but you might just want to work through the drills, and you may only get as far as the first couple of drills of a skill. Then you might park it, so you tick those off, and then you can come back to it later. You're in progress with that particular skill.
So so once they've got the app, they've got access to all the library, all the videos.
Yeah. And then there's the combo side. So then obviously a massive part of what I do is creating combos and creating routines and I suppose mini combos come together for all my routines. Like my bigger routines are made up of lots of little combos. And I think you'd have this as well, probably. Yeah, but it's so then people, once you've got a crossover and a side swing, then it will unlock a combo that contains those skills.
That's cool.
So I'm constantly adding to the library of skills and combos. But once it just means that you're never overwhelmed. You're only given things that you're ready for. So I think another thing was that even workouts and combos on YouTube, or just even free stuff out there, it's like you could be trawling through for ages trying to figure out what you can actually do.
Yeah, I get that. I get messages from people and they're just like, have you got playlists just for this and this beginner step? And I don't. As in, I've got playlists, but it's true. People do just want to be able to see something and be like, I want to learn this move and learn it like this. So it's quite a smart thing that you've done, because I think it will probably set off a little trend maybe in the future of people getting involved to do the same thing. Yeah,
and I think, well, that's the unfortunate thing, isn't it? I suppose people start to do it themselves. But so I think the thing is as well, it's just like people would ask for a tutorial for a routine, and it's like, well, that routine contains maybe 6 different skills and put together with 3 different mini combos.
Yeah.
So for me to do a tutorial, for some, it's very difficult, because some people picking up that tutorial might already have half the stuff. Some people might not. And it's actually not very helpful. You'd have to go into detail with everything to make it helpful for someone who's a total beginner. Whereas with Fancy Feats, everything is there, but depending on your journey will depend what you need to learn. So if somebody wants to learn a certain combo, it will tell them what skills they need to get there. And then they can go through doing those.
Top work, man.
Thank you.
Put it there.
And then another part of it is just the program section and workout section. So for those people who don't want the freedom necessarily, they actually want the structure, because there is a structure obviously of following the skill map, but then it's very much about your free time. You follow the tutorial and then you work through the drills in your own time.
Right.
But if you want a structure where at the moment there's a 6-week course in there where literally there's 5 workouts a week, and you can repeat weeks if you go slower, or you can spread them out if you want more rest days, where it literally increases the duration gradually and it teaches things gradually. So on your first session, you're literally just doing toe catches and like penguin jumps just to get used to the timing. And then maybe by the second or third session, we introduce jumping over the rope and actually so it's broken down.
Very cool, man. How was the lead up to? I imagine it was mad stressfully, as in the amount of hours and make sure everything was right. But how was the feedback? Because I know we spoke about it off camera a little bit.
Yeah.
How some of the good and bad.
Yes, the lead up was really exciting. As soon as I started talking about it, it was clear there was so much demand, and
wicked. That
was obviously at the time I just thought that was great. I think I think the thing is, ultimately, I think what I've done is not cheap to create, and I've done it from scratch. So I've not done this. I could have created something on a tighter budget and it wouldn't have been what it is. Obviously it wouldn't have been so easy to use. It wouldn't have been bespoke, made for jump rope, so it just wouldn't have, the user journey wouldn't be so good with it, and that's not what I wanted. And I always wanted something that I could grow into whatever I wanted it to be. So obviously what Fancy Feats looks like now, I see it as being a completely unrecognizable product in 5 years. Like, there's so many things I want to do, and I just expect it to grow with, based on what people want to see and what ideas I can come up with. So it was always important to me to do it properly. So with that, unfortunately, comes a huge budget to do that.
Of course.
But also, I think what is actually on the app and what I'm offering is incredible value for money. And I think so, regardless of the fact that I had to set it at a price that was viable, I think it is, the other alternative is you're looking at a jump rope coach, which is £50 plus an hour probably. So, and I think obviously I think the problem is what I didn't prepare myself for was the fact that not everyone necessarily understands how difficult it is to learn all these skills, and how this is a skills-based app. Although it's in the fitness sector, it's not necessarily like a workout app. That's just a tiny part of it. It's a skill-based
Exactly.
app.
It's not like you're teaching someone how to do a bicep curl.
No, exactly.
It's like you're like a flipping developer teaching someone coding, and for them to learn it in like a day.
Yeah.
And it's like you go to a school and pay like grands for it.
Exactly.
I think people don't usually kind of understand that. I mean, I'm sure you're hardcore following and everyone will support it. It's probably the people that are like, who may be like, oh, why is she charging, or why is it this much? They're really just the type that just expect things a little bit more cheaper or free or something.
I think I can understand there are going to be people out there who, and you have a right to have an opinion that I wouldn't spend that on a jump rope app. People have a right to have that opinion, but it's just the way that people assume that is, that is correct. And then, I mean, some of the comments that people have written to me telling me how I should run my business, or
you got any examples?
People saying that I've basically been coerced by investors who have invested in this, and I'm just the face of it, and they're trying to make a quick buck. Shit. It's like that's
proper deep, man.
It is. So okay.
How do they even know like your background and how you set this up, and who's investing, or
it's actually
whose money's being used?
Yeah. And the hardest thing about that is that the amount that I'd sacrificed to do this, or not totally obviously I've got people around me who can help, but it is my app. It's my investment, and I've paid people to help, the developers, etc. And so for me to be so I don't know, to get that, for people to say this, basically people were saying that I'm being greedy and things like that. But I think the thing I didn't think about and prepare for was the fact I have been providing content for free for so long, and although nothing is going to change with that, I'm still providing the same content. People still see it as, okay, suddenly she's charging for something, and it's like, whereas I just see it, look, at the end of the day, I've got multiple offerings. If you want to learn to jump rope, you can learn for free. I did it for free. There's no one telling you can't do that.
Yeah.
But it's not the easiest way to do it. And I had a lot of time to research and to screen record videos, slow them right down. I think I have a mind where I can see stuff, and I was able to learn and teach myself. Not everyone can do that. And I think there's other way. You can get a coach, obviously, which is more expensive, but you'd get more sort of someone instantly giving you feedback. Or this is actually quite a reasonable way to have access to all the skills that I do at your fingertips. Well, obviously it's not most of the skills. It's going to keep on growing because I'm obviously bringing out more and more at a reasonable price for what you're getting. Where's I going with this?
No, we'll just talk about how like people, I think, I was saying to you as well off the camera as well, like I think a lot of people out there spend money on dumb shit, and then they love passing judgment on like people who, let's say, build a following or build a platform, and then everything has been for free to get you to that point, or to have that following, and it's just the moment that you turn around and say, I've got this for you guys, it could help, it will help you, hopefully it
Yeah.
will help you, I put my blood, sweat and tears into this, then you'll always get the odd people that's like, oh, they're trying to cash
Yeah.
in, they're selling out. I think it's just natural what happens. I told you, I got hate for buying a car.
Yeah.
I got hate for, I was getting some trolls talking about this HQ when I was building this HQ. I think it's just a natural part of life.
Yeah.
I think what's good, hopefully, that you can understand in your mindset is as long as you're true to what you're doing, it sounds so cliche, but as long as you know the truth, it's like, yes, you put in this money, yes, you did this hard work, yes, you did all the sketches and da-da-da. These people shouldn't really get you too upset. Hopefully they don't get you too upset.
I think it hurts because I am trying my best to offer as much as I can to people to make this accessible. And I think people haven't stepped back and necessarily looked at it that way. I think most people have, actually. I think it's very easy to get caught up in comments. And I think, I've got a private Facebook group, which a lot of my closest sort of fans are on. And a lot of discussion happened on there, which was really hard to read because it was in such a kind of close place.
So I think that's where it hurts the most.
Yeah.
I found that before, where I've had a long-term follower or a couple of people that have been close, and then they say they've turned on something, or they've got like a bad impression, or they've done. That's when it does get to me, in the sense that you don't want any of the cool people that have helped you
but I
thinking
think,
badly or wrong.
Exactly, but I think what was interesting about that is it felt at the time like everyone thought that way. But actually what people don't see is all the people DMing me in the background and saying, I'm really sorry to read what you're experiencing on the group. And obviously, because you can understand in that sort of situation, they don't want to say anything, because anyone who disagrees, they
might get attacked.
Yeah. So obviously, and obviously I could see the people downloading and subscribing to my app, and I could see the people DMing me saying it's amazing.
Of course.
I could see all that. And then what you see is the comments, and those comments that get attention because people are looking for them, the ones that are negative, because, the ones that think it's too expensive, people look for other people saying the same thing, and then they comment that. It's very easy to think that it's the majority, but actually when you take a step back, and I saw the amount of people subscribing to the app, the amount of people DMing me, the other people who are writing positive comments, it's actually not the majority. Yeah.
I remember we spoke about it last time, and you used to say to me you had that rule, right, of like getting back to trolls, and it was you'd get back to everyone that wrote a nice comment first before trying to reply back. Well, what was the deal with this group? Were you getting involved?
I did try at one point. I think I was trying to. The thing is, I couldn't say anything right, and it almost got to the point where I just had to stop. I think with some people, I think it's okay to say I can't afford it, or this is more than I would pay for a jump rope app. That's an opinion. What's just, total speculation is she would make more money if she charged less.
Right.
We would all download it if it was just £5 a month.
Close to nothing.
And she would make more money. She needs to get new advisors, or she needs to speak to her investors. And
how did this all make you feel? Like I know obviously you said it made you feel upset, but how was it kind of really impacting you?
To be honest, it was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah. I'd say of my whole online career, those were the darkest days.
Oh shit!
And I was bringing out my new app, which I'd worked fucking hard on.
Yeah. And
for so long, and sorry, it's making me upset.
It's all right. Take your time.
And I was, people were saying that was what people were saying, but I think the problem is, I think in these situations, sometimes when you have a following, you're almost like a victim of your own success. So I think a lot of situations when people launch products, the product grows. How to explain it? It's very unusual to have so much attention when you launch a new product for the first time, unless you're in my situation where you have a following. So as Lauren Jumps, I had this following. So whereas the type of marketing that I've given that product, you wouldn't be able to afford if you were one brand without someone like me, Mm-hmm. So you would grow it gradually, and you'd grow it, you'd grow the demand for it gradually as well. Whereas I launched this app and it had a crazy amount of demand, which is, I can't complain about. That's fantastic. It's quite clear that what is available for free online isn't enough, because why were people demanding this so much? Why do people want this app so much? That
I think people do really believe in you as well, though.
Yeah.
As a human, obviously they want to have this app on their fingertips, but I think you as a person with that following, that demand would always be because people want to support you as well.
And it just meant that I couldn't launch quietly, you know, and test the water, see what happens. Yeah. And actually, I think when people launch products, if it's a brand new product, typically people either buy it or they don't. People aren't necessarily passionate about to complain about it. I can't complain that people were passionate to be upset that they couldn't necessarily afford this product, or you know, or they felt it was too expensive for them, whatever. At least people have that passion to feel that way. So there is some good in that. But it is also kind of just like, guys, bear with me. This isn't it. This isn't where Fancy Feet's. I'm not going to just launch this and it's done. And there's room for me to grow my offering. You know, I think what I'm offering, the extent of it, is great value for money. But there's potential to offer less for less as well. Like, you know, to give people who are just starting out, who aren't necessarily ready because they've only just picked up a jump rope, aren't ready to spend that sort of money on this new hobby they've literally just picked up. You know, there is a market there to give less for less. So there's loads of ideas, there's loads of things that I've got up here. But when I launched Fancy Feets, it was like, I think
there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of attention on it.
Yeah.
And not many brands would have that kind of.
That's what I mean.
And I think that's why it's all heightened. And it's unfortunate in that sense that you get those one or two and then it kind of becomes a bit of a snowball, because maybe certain people were thinking, and we had this chat as well when you came to the launch party, like, oh, it's going to be this much. And even I said to you, like, it's not cheap to make. Like, this shit is like, it's $1. Like, it's not like you're making something crappy.
Yeah.
And I was even saying to you, right, like, if you did show that behind the scenes stuff, maybe all those kind of hardcore followers that really trust in you, they would have seen it actually. Okay, she's gonna bring this product out. She's like, you can see how much work she's putting into this shit. Then they might not have been so taken back if whoever was commenting that was a little bit close in that group or that circle in that Facebook group. And I think that's why I said to you, I had so many people do the same over the years for me. But when I've got like a product or a brand launch or campaign or whatever, they now see what goes into it. I've shown invoices, I've shown the money being spent, I've shown the campaign sort of back end of it. And then at a certain point, you just have to understand that, like, not everyone's going to understand what you do and all the pressure that you have.
Well, I think it's that, and I think
bringing out a product as well. That's hard in itself, just bringing out anything.
Exactly.
And some people, they're so used to big corporate brands building, like, you know, like an ASOS app or this app and this app.
Yeah.
They don't understand these corporate brands have millions and millions of money, like cash in the bank, massive amounts of investors, massive amount of following. So they see you and they're already putting you up on that scale. It's actually a compliment.
It is.
In a mad way, like you were saying. And then when they see it and then they're like, oh, I thought this was going to be free. I thought this was going to be like £2. It's like, no, like, dude, like, this is fucking real deal shit. Like, you go try and make an app with this amount of work being put into the back end. Yeah. But it's just education, man. It's just, it's hard for people to get their head around it.
And also for some, I might not ever create the right product for someone that's going to hit the nail on the head for them, be the right price, the right offering. It's physically impossible for me to please everybody. Yeah. And I think as well, the other thing is I'm kind of the first to do this. I know people have got apps out there, but not built from scratch. Like, I've been the first to build a jump rope a very skill-based app. I know there's ones out there that focus more on workouts and stuff, but an actual skill-based app that has this unique way of, you know, you can take your own way through, you can take your own route through the skill map. No one's really done that, so it's kind of, when you're the first, no one's got anything to compare it to. I mean, So it's just
must feel cool, right?
it is cool, but it's also like the next person to launch their app won't have this because I'll have had the.
You've had the heat.
I was the one to put it out there, you know.
Oh man! Well, listen, I know you're smashing it with it, and that was quite a long segment on it.
It was. I'm sorry, I got really deep.
Don't watch that. Don't get upset about it though.
I know
you've done something amazing.
Look, I think
major props.
I'm actually. I'm really, on the whole, even people who have been upset about it, I'm not angry at any of my following who have got upset about that either, because that's just how they feel. And actually, if anything, it's like it would be a bit sad if people are like, oh, I'm not even sad, I can't have it, kind of thing. Like, you know, it's, I've obviously done something right here, you know, but
the thing is, money is always a sensitive topic in whatever you do. So had you brought out a shitty product that was expensive, that would be the worst thing, because people who actually bought it would be like, this is actually shit, and she's tried to rip me off.
Yeah.
Then you got people who haven't even seen it, and they're just like, I can't afford it, which is fine. And then you got people who are just knocking you for just being like, oh, she thinks she's big timer now, she's trying to rip everyone off. So like, you can't please everyone.
Yeah. And I think I have to say one big mistake I did make, and I'll own up to it, was not going out with a free trial to start with. So obviously I bought as soon as I had that early backlash. Obviously the price I was like, it is great value for money, and it's set at a viable price. But with the free trial, I was like, I should have just spent the extra money and got that out with the launch. The problem was we were quite pressed on time towards the end, and it was literally kind of like, are you having a trial or not? And it was, because that would have added time to the build, but it was kind of a rush decision, I'd say. I was kind of like, we'll just launch it and see what happens. But
that is tough though. Like, you're not in the app industry as such, so you're not like, it's a hard. That's a business decision, and that's just something everyone makes. As in, I've made a million fucking business mistakes in my time that have like been proper costly, and as long as you learn from it.
And then I think people thought, you know, as well, they obviously mentioned it, and then it's like I still hadn't done a trial after a week, but I'd literally already instructed my developers to build it, and it was literally like, it took three weeks and then a week of testing, and then it went live. So obviously then I launched it, but it's frustrating because obviously people don't see that either, that every little thing takes time as well.
When you're big, you're big.
But I'm sorry.
Bigger problems.
I'm sorry I didn't launch with a trial, but I got there in the end.
No, but congrats on it all, man.
Thank you.
It's nice that you are the first to do this. It's always nice. I think a lot of people will come on board, as in terms of like trying to imitate, replicate, and it just naturally happens.
I'm sure
I think it'll build the game, and that's what we all want. I was gonna get my phone. I haven't got it on me. Where's my phone, Liz? Basically, I think what I wanted to do. So last time we got together, guys, listening, we did 2 videos for my channel. There's 2 videos for my channel, or 3. Maybe I did a vlog as well. But you taught me 2 moves. So you taught me the release, and you taught me what was the other one? Running Man.
It was the running man, wasn't it?
Okay, so what we did today is we went through some of the comments, because those videos went big naturally, because I was that good at learning the move. No, I wasn't obviously that. It was because you were there. But they were quite big videos on my channel, and got a lot of attention. So I wanted to show you some of the messages that I got, and just wanted some reactions. And then we just have a little discussion. There's loads here. Been sent this by Lissy P. How many have you sent me here, man? 13. There's a lot more as well. So what I found was majority of the comments were really cool. Obviously, everyone was happy that, you know, if they knew me, they'd obviously know you. If they knew you, they probably wouldn't know me, kind of thing. It was like your followers like were kind of hardcore on me, like just being like, this guy is an issue for them. As in, I was really giving them problems for some reason on that video on my channel.
I think YouTube can be a bit like this, though.
What do you think? What do you think's worse again? Well, I know we talked about a bit of trolls and all that.
Well, I think people have actually.
YouTube's the worst right now. Do you think?
It's difficult because it's there's a pro and a con of it. I think people are very a lot closer. They feel a lot closer to you on YouTube.
Oh no, 100%. That is for sure.
And people are a lot more engaged on it generally. Yeah. So they do really comment a lot, which is obviously it's a great thing. then it does mean that,
I
probably
mean, you've got an army. They'll come in on. You've got some sharks out there. Here's the first one, right? Oh, I told you this one outside. He goes, this is a comment. This is on my channel, by the way, guys, yeah? And you're teaching me a move. Straight away. More of her, less of him trying to woo her. Just stop talking and let her teach. Was I wooing you that day? Would you consider me wooing you?
No.
What am I going to do? Like, just be like, look at my rope skills. I mean, we're going to do some more tutorials anyway. So if this guy's ever watching or listening, I'm going to comment. Do we comment back to these people?
I think
I need to start commenting back.
there's probably as well, maybe people in their minds, they're like, oh, it's a man with a jump rope and they've got a similar hobby. It's like, maybe because people don't see it often still. I think YouTube is still quite, it's not as busy as some other platforms when it comes to jump rope content.
Potentially, yeah.
So people are kind of like, oh, there's another man and he
maybe they just clicked on it, saw you, and they thought this is like your channel, your space, your fucking house.
Yes,
like
I think that's the other thing with YouTube. It does show you videos from obviously lots of different channels. So I think people have ended up there and not realised it's your channel.
Like, who is this guy? Another one. This one's just straight to the point. Get rid of the guy. Then there's another one. I mean, he went in. Richard Kettle. Another little funny one. Do Lauren rules and you drool.
It's just it's so unnecessarily mean.
That just sounds like it came from like a 5-year-old. You drool.
I don't know if this probably does kind of just prove the point that negative comments tend to come from a place of jealousy.
Mate, this one's big. Yeah, a lot of these people are not very happy in life. That for sure. Wow, she's really slumming it. What won't this girl do for money? What does that even mean?
Just
slumming it. What does that mean?
Do I need to send you an invoice for that though?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what the hell, man? Someone's actually wrote Lauren's abs, hearty eyes. Got the abs out today as well, guys, so ignore that coming later. Okay, but does she know how to cook? Do you know how to cook?
Oh, that question, it comes up so much. It's like, it's a typical
What's this,
sexist
the guy
bloke. It's a typical sexist bloke type comment. I think it's, you're doing something that they can't do, so they have to make a derogatory comment, don't they?
So you get that a lot then? Asking,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you reply back? Can you cook?
I don't reply to those sort of ones, actually.
You got some skills then?
They're not even funny.
I feel like you got some skills.
It's not even a good insult to respond to.
You make your hubby some breakfast in the morning, you said. What's his favourite? Eggs? Toast?
We have porridge at the moment.
Nice.
But you always, breakfast, you get bored of occasionally, don't you? Waiting for that to happen.
She definitely didn't take it seriously when she saw him wearing his sliders. I always wear my sliders because I have to take them off, don't I? Because I don't wear trainers.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe
I didn't take it seriously.
Probably because I don't know.
Or maybe the point that you shouldn't be trying anything to.
Yeah, I'm the joker for not wearing trainers.
Oh, right, yeah.
All right, how about you talk less and listen more? She's in the middle of explaining things and you keep talking over her. It's like you can't wait to hear your own voice.
But they also don't understand that you're trying to hurry along the content for your channel.
Potentially,
as well.
yeah.
There's always more to it.
Well, maybe I've got to step back and take that as good feedback. Maybe I should.
Well,
we'll have a go next in this next
I
video.
didn't think that, to be honest. I think I can go on. I mean, look at this podcast. how long's it been going on for?
50 minutes. We're loving it though, man. I wish I could talk longer. To be fair, I wish I could talk longer.
So I think I need shutting up.
No. You do what you're doing. Nice content. I really enjoyed watching the video, but sorry, this guy is stressful. Always talking. Always fast talking. Leaving a comment to literally everything. Sometimes less is more.
Stressful?
I'm stressful. No one's ever called me stressful. That's one thing I've never been called in my life.
I think you're the opposite. I'm stressful.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Apparently a lot of talking though. I'm gonna have to like button it down on my channel. I think I want to make silent videos. Maybe I talk too much.
I think I talk a lot though.
You should do a podcast if you like talking.
Maybe.
Get involved. Another one, same thing. Let her talk. Man, I need to go back and watch this video. Maybe I was a little bit over the top with it. He's a little needy for compliments. Come on, put in the work. You'll get it. I think that's probably me just being like, do I look like I'm doing it right, Lauren? I know I was a bit like that. I was like, what do you reckon? What do you reckon?
It's amazing what people pick up on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, It's just.
I mean, it's fucking good. As in, imagine having someone like you, as in, come down, teach me something that I've got no clue about. The person watching it gets to see you teach, right, for free, and then learn something. And then the only thing they want to leave is just cuss me. That's the only thing that comes to mind. Is like, fuck this guy.
But
after getting all that good vibes and
but
energy.
kind of what I mean is, I think
So weird.
that's where it comes from, a bit of jealousy, because I think these are people who are my fans, and then they're jealous that you're hanging around with me, so they're finding nasty things to say. Yeah, but I think it is. I think it's just usually when you read negative comments, there's usually jealousy somewhere. I think
a lot of the guys are. Yeah, they're probably looking at me and they're like, "How the hell did she go and see him to help him?"
Yeah. When I'm here,
him and his sliders.
When I'm here in my mum's basement, like, why didn't she want to come and see me?
Yeah, some of these trolls are wicked though. What did they say? Okay, this is interesting. If Lauren wasn't a decent looking young blonde woman, this is a lot of adjectives. Hold on. If Lauren wasn't a decent looking young blonde woman, no one would give a crap.
Yeah,
I don't think her followers are watching her to jump rope.
I get that all the time.
Who's that from? Guys or girls more?
Guys, but it's fine. I mean, look, I'm not stupid. I'm sure I know from reading DMs and certain comments that there are a lot of people who follow me, who follow me and think I'm attractive, but then there's plenty of attractive women out there who are on social media. And we all know that, like, there's if it was a case that you would have a large following just from looking a certain way, then there'd be so many more people with larger followings, wouldn't there? You can't just. That's not necessarily. It depends what you're doing, but
I think it's just a standard thing that people come back to.
Yeah,
I think about it quite a lot as well. There are hundreds of millions of good-looking people. I say good-looking. Anyone could be good-looking to someone else and not to another. But the fact that you've got your skills working for you. And then they look at you and they think, "Oh, she's only made it because she looks a certain way." It
makes them feel better because they couldn't. They watch me and they think I'm not doing that, so they find a reason that like it. You know, it's only because I'm a woman and I look a certain way. Well, they're probably a man who can't do what I do, so they make themselves feel better about not being able to achieve what I have done by being like, "Well, I wouldn't be able to achieve it anyway." You
get most of your trolls from men, right? I'm guessing. Or do you get some of the ladies?
The odd women as well.
What would they say then? I bet you can't cook like me. What's it about? What do they talk about? What are the ladies coming at you for?
There's sometimes it's sometimes my body shape actually.
Oh, you said this last time actually. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to look like a man. I wouldn't want to have a figure like that. She's got no hips. When they're women, actually, I sometimes do respond and kind of say, "I'm really sorry you put that sort of pressure on yourself to look a certain way." Because that's what it. If you're putting pressure on other people to look a certain way, you're putting pressure on yourself as well. So it's a bit sad, really.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from, you know. And that's people ultimately put someone down to make themselves feel better. People who are happy in themselves don't put people down.
I'm trying to think back to like times where I've watched something or something's annoyed me. I don't think I've ever left any negative or some troll comment on anything.
No. I mean, look, I mean, even if you are unhappy, I mean, it doesn't mean that you will do that either. I mean, obviously you have common sense about you, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, I've never been so passionate about something where I'm just just like scroll like past the video and just be
that's it. But the thing is, why are these people passionate about it enough to comment?
The Lauren Jumps effect, man. Getting all crazy about
I had one the other. This woman kept commenting on videos saying, "Stop sexualising jump rope," and I said, "Stop sexualising me," because obviously you're looking at my video and saying I've sexualised, and then she kept commenting it again, and I actually said, "I'm starting to think you fancy me." Hold on,
I got to stop you for 1 second. Literally, as you said this, I've just come across a comment. They haven't spelled your name right. They've got Lawrence. Lawrence's exceptional sexiness has got me glued.
It's like, it's just, look, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I'm not. I think there will be some sort of different. It's like it's the image, isn't it? It will make a difference potentially in some ways, but it's not everything. You couldn't just look a certain way, and actually you can't even just look a certain way and just jump well. There's so much more to being able to post content and edit and
you've
consistently
been relentless for so many years, every day
in a way that it grows. It's so much more to it than that.
Do you think if I had my top off and I was skipping, I'd have more followers?
I think
if I was one of those gym guys,
possibly.
Yeah. Do you think that's what the world we live in, right? I sometimes think about it.
Yeah, there is.
Just
I think
get them guns out.
I've noticed there's a couple of them popping up on Instagram these days doing skipping. I bet we're thinking of the same person.
I mean, look, I've always maintained the same stance on it all. Like, everyone's entitled to use their Instagram how they want. They're entitled to show what they want. If it helps them, it helps them. I'm just, I think even if I had it, the bod, I don't think I would do it personally.
I mean, I think it's like I see people in the community are genuinely at the beach. It's like women as well, like at the beach enjoying their holiday, and they get the rope out and do some skipping. And genuinely, I think there probably are some people that would do that for the attention, but there's also genuinely people who are just on holiday enjoying skipping, and it's hot and they're on the beach.
Thing is though, if you're like, let's say you're a dude in small shorts or like top off, girl like bikini on, and you're like, I'm at the beach, let me just post a cool video, post it, and then all of a sudden it gets like 10 times more engagement than ever before. Do you think then they're like, oh shit, I probably should be posting a bit more?
There is a danger, yeah. I mean, I think I know, I'm sure if I put a bikini one on, it would get more engagement.
Steady on, Lauren.
But
man.
I wouldn't.
People go mental, man.
Well, people would be very disappointed. But it's one thing to be honest, I don't even do this much, but I would put a bikini picture from holiday on. I haven't for ages, because actually I almost can't be dealing with some of the comments it creates and DMs.
That must be wild.
But
must be wild.
Because of my following and how some people are just with what I wear at the moment, which is simply activewear, that's why you don't see me jumping in a bikini. And it's not to say that people shouldn't, by the way. It's just that I can't personally be bothered with people coming at me. And also potentially people who do think you've done it for that reason. I just can't even bother to have them think that.
It's a mad world, isn't it? It just gets everyone all second guessing. You never know. You might find yourself in that situation. Say never,
yeah. But yeah, it's not on my agenda at the moment. Sorry, everyone.
Mad. I mean, you've done, like, we spoke obviously a year ago, so I know you've done so much already in this last year, but your whole story is still fascinating. It honestly is, man. I don't know if you wake up sometimes and just think like, fuck, man, Lauren, you've done all right,
I do. I think
you should give yourself a pat on the back and feel proud, man.
Well, I think it's when I speak to people as well. Like, I've come across new people. Like, I changed my accountant recently, and I was like, obviously they're like, so what do you do? And then it's like, you obviously tell them what you do, and it's just I bet they're random.
Like, so like, yeah, they must be like, that's so insane what you've just done.
Yeah, and it's just, so sometimes it obviously comes up, and I kind of, to be honest, I just play it down a bit, because it's a bit, it's quite a long story as well. I kind of want to simplify it. I'm often like, I'm a content creator on social media, and then some people, that's fine, I should leave it there. And then some people want to delve a bit deeper, and then you end up going into it, and they're like, what? And then they're like, oh, actually, I think I've seen your video.
I'm sure they've seen it, man. I still see people, and I start talking about what I do, and then they're like, oh, do you know this girl, like blonde girl, like, she does it in her garden? I'm like, yeah, trust me, I know her. What do you mean you know her? Like, no, as in know her. I'm like, yeah, she's like, come down, and you're a big timer, man. It's cool, man. It's cool the amount of places that you've reached and people and.
Well, it's good, and I think this is what the sport actually deserves, and that's the main thing. It's like the competitive side and all of that all benefits from if anyone's just helping to get a rope in more people's hands, it's just going to boost the sport so much more.
That's it,
and that's what it's about.
That's why we do what we do, man. I think I covered what I was going to try and cover.
Yeah.
You said you had some questions. Do you have anything cool?
Well, let's have a look.
What, did you write something down?
No, I'd put a question sticker
Oh,
on
shoot.
earlier. I want to see if anyone's got questions for you.
We'll go on for another 10 minutes and then we'll shout it.
But some of them might be from me.
Yeah. It's crazy though.
Who messaged who first?
Oh, what? Am I wooing you again? What is this?
I think I followed you first.
You followed me first. You said that last time. I think people won't believe me, but I don't really spend a lot of time on Instagram. I try and I don't know what it is. I think because I've been so long in this game, there's only so much my brain can handle, like my phone. So I have been slowing down a lot just on social media.
It's good
as a
though.
whole.
That's healthy.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Like my mind feels better. I told you before, I hardly pick up my phone on the weekends now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it feels much nicer. Walking in on Monday feeling like refreshed.
Yeah. You see, I think I actually need that. I think you get to a point where you're doing so much, you're not actually being your best when you are working anyway. It's like...
Yeah, and actually a lot of the cool things that come into my head is when I'm not thinking about it.
Like, it's better to be 100% 5 days a week in the office than sort of 60% 7 days a week.
Yeah, so I think I messaged you about coming down, to be fair, first.
Yeah. Possibly.
You see, again, that question, they're probably like, how has this guy got in touch with her again?
How's he slid into my DM?
Yeah, I bet that's from a guy. It's basically like, how did he manage this? This weird looking dude with sunglasses.
How old are we?
How old? I am 37.
And I'm 31.
You're supposed to say you don't look 37, Rush.
Oh, that's sorry. Yeah, you don't look it, no.
You're the only
you haven't
person.
got any grey hairs.
No, I've got loads, man. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's all right. What cool ones you got?
Right, some of them Well, someone asked, why do you always wear caps when jumping? I've answered that.
Answered that one, yeah. You got many?
What's your favourite trick?
Is this for me or you?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I usually say double under crossover because I just remember learning that, and it was like, at the time, imagine no tutorials, no Insta, none of this world that you're used to kind of thing where everyone's doing it. It was like I just seen one boxer do it, I saw Mayweather do it, and I'm like, I had to figure it out myself.
Yeah,
I just remember how long it took me. So that's why it's always special, because I got beaten up for like months and months.
Well, you're very good at it now.
I'm pretty decent at that.
Do you ever mess it up now, really?
Yeah, I mean, I always mess up. Everyone always messes up.
Probably a lot of general stuff. Yeah, it's probably... Why are you guys wearing black? I hardly ever wear black. I'm just wearing a black top.
I always wear black. Black or black. What weird questions.
I know.
Strange. Well, I mean, it was nice chatting again.
Yeah.
Did you feel comfortable in the end?
Yeah,
setup.
I reckon I've relaxed more and more into this podcast. At one point, I was like,
you know what? You just gotta. I think you were really good in the first one, and you're really good in this one.
I think I was talking about a topic that I have struggled to talk about actually. Like since Fancy Feet's launched,
it's good.
I've struggled to be open about all of that and sort of address some of the backlash and talk about what it's actually done to me.
I could tell. Like you just had to just get that off you just a little bit. I think you just when you do your more behind the scenes stuff and that kind of thing, it's such a good chance to just chat to people who really care about you.
Yeah.
The guys who send all the hate and stuff, they don't obviously really care. But then the ones that are really caring and then they have those negative thoughts, at least then you can address it.
Well, this is it.
And then put them in a frame of mind that they can understand.
And that's the important thing. And because ultimately, like, everyone's on this journey with me. Like, this is all new to me. Like, I've never had my own business.
Exactly. Yeah, congrats again on that.
So everybody's on this with me to watch it all unfold and grow.
Yeah, you're doing amazing things. I think we'll close it out there. As always, we always finish up by saying the usual line, which is Lauren Jumps, you were born to fly.
Thank you.
You laughed exactly the same way
last time. Did I go thank you as well?
Yeah, no, I just did a little... It's nice though. It's good. thank you for coming back again. And we'll do a part 3 at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe when some other dramas erupt, and we could just have a normal chin wag. We'll change it up a bit.
Yeah.
Next time we'll have some food.
Yeah, okay.
Well, so just a little chilled food vibes, and we'll just
some eating ASMR.
yeah, we'll just talk about something else. But it's nice to hear about everything that's happening with the brand.
It's nice to talk about
And
it.
you're going places, you're doing amazing things. Put it there.
Thank you.
We're gonna get around to doing some videos now.
Yeah,
Peeps.
I'll try not to reject you too much today.
Yeah. No, I've learnt my lesson now. We don't do any spuds or high fives at the end of anything. You want to say bye to the peeps?
Yeah.
You want to say bye? You want to say anything?
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.
All right, guys. Love you as always. If you're listening in your car, on your train commute, whatever it is, hopefully you enjoyed. Save this down. Send it to your friends and family. We had the biggest skipping rope influencer on the planet right here, sitting next to me, chatting. So, yeah. One more thing. If you have any other cool guests that you would love to see here, drop me a line or drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, drop a little DM or an email. If you would like to be a guest on the podcast, give us a shout as well. Go to info@rushathletics.co.uk to send us an email. Otherwise, guys, love you as always. Peace out.
Was the knight in shining armor in your movie? Would put your lips on mine and love the aftertaste now.